Hi guys, this is Rosa Kelly. So today I'm here to share with you a quick and easy way to make a very simple journal. This is going to be a project for my digital magazine, which is releasing real soon. So I hope that you guys enjoy the process. So I found this piece of cardstock here, and it was sent to me on mail, and it was just kind of protecting what was inside of the package. And I figured this could be a really good cover for a journal, or at least the base of a cover. So it's just some simple cardstock. You can also use cardstock from a box of cereal or any recycling package that you might have. But this is the exact same size as a normal sheet of paper, which is 8.5 by 11. So I went ahead and folded it in half, and so yeah, I think it will work really good to make a simple one signature journal. And then also I have this beautiful fabric. This fabric I found at Hobby Lobby some time ago, and it has been on my stash for a long time because I've been wanting to make some kind of nature or botanical journal. I just love these mushroom prints, are so pretty. And so I'm gonna be using that to wrap this cardstock, and it's gonna make it a lot more durable. The material of this fabric, it almost feels like a little canvas on the texture that it has. So I think it's gonna be very durable. And then of course I have some tea dye paper. You can use tea dye paper or coffee dye, and I just have a little bit here. I think I have 6 sheets, which is plenty for what I need to do. And then I dig into my journaling stash, and I found these sheets of these beautiful trees species, and these came from like a 1960s children's book. You can see here how damaged it is, and I think the book got wet, but I was able to save some of the sheets. I have like cute little children's stories, but I just have random pages like that. So I pick these ones that had the little trees, and I think that would be really pretty to add to my journal, because I do want this to be, like I said, a nature. So it talks about the different species. And then to add a little bit of color onto my journal, I am going to be using this designer paper. This is by K & Company. So we're going to start by using our fabric. I'm going to cut a piece so we can wrap this piece of cardstock on it. So I'm just gonna cut this right here. And I love making this type of one signature journals because they're just very easy, they're quite quick, and they are definitely really fun to make. So I'm just gonna trim this a little bit more. I only need about 1 inch all around my cardstock. So now I'm going to be using some fabric tack glue to add my cardstock here onto my fabric. Always do a little test run on a little side of your fabric with some cardstock to see how it reacts to the glue. Sometimes the fabric will show the glue even after it dries, or it will wrinkle. And so this fabric right here, I know it won't, because it's quite thick and I've used it before. And you don't need a lot of glue either. I'm just going to put this here. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish wrapping this up. Here I am done wrapping the outside of my cover. I'm going to pass this through my sewing machine, and this is just an extra step if you like to see those stitches around. If you don't use a sewing machine, don't worry, this will still be strong enough for you to continue without the stitches. But I really like the look of it, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. So there you go, I added my stitches all the way around in here. So what we're gonna do now is use a little piece here from our leftover fabric and just secure the spine a little bit more. So I'm going to cut these just right there. And this book doesn't really have a spine, but since this is the center folds, I do like to secure these on both sides. But I'm going to add these under my fabric here so it doesn't, you don't see the loose ends. So I'm going to add some glue. See if this is working. Okay, so a little glue right there, and I'm going to add this in. Okay, and you won't see this piece of fabric, so it's okay if the orientation it's not right. Okay, so I secured that in there, and then I'm just going to glue right here all over there. Okay, so just add that, and then I'm going to cut this a little bit and make sure that it will fit underneath my seam right there. So I'm going to add more glue and then put this under, and then add glue on this piece that is coming on top. And there you go, and that way we have, you know, just a little bit more strength on this center fold. So I'm going to select some of these papers. I want a lot of I like these colors here. I want a lot of flowers and happy colors, and then the cover here has some yellow, some pink, some blue. So I'm going to go for those colors a little bit. Ooh, I love this one too. So I'm going to take 3 or 4, and oh, look how pretty this one is. Let me just make sure. Let's see here. Oh, I love this green one. Okay, and then I can just do one more. I guess I could do this one. I think it would be good enough. Yes. Okay, and then I'm going to cut these pieces at 8.5 by 10.5. Here are my design papers. Look how gorgeous. Oh my goodness, I love these papers. And so I'm just gonna fold these in half, and these are going to be some of the pages as well. Okay, so I think I'm gonna use this one as the first page, and I cut these designs a little bit smaller than the other pages because I don't want these ones to stick out of the journal. I don't mind if this paper sticks out of the journal because I love the vintage edges, but for this one, I don't know, a little bit different. And so what we're gonna do now is just kind of combine. I went ahead and fold all of these ones in half too. So I'm going to do maybe one of the papers, then one of my little tree papers here. Maybe I'll do this one, and then I can do maybe another one of these ones, and just kind of play around with all of these. Ooh, I just remember I wanted this one to be the first page. And so yeah, so then I'm going to kind of do something like this, and then I can do one more. And then you can add all kinds of different papers on your signatures if you have like a magazine cutouts that you want to keep, or if you have some vellum paper, some envelopes, some paperbacks. Those are always fun to add as well. So I'm just gonna do 2 of that one, and then I'll do one more of these, and maybe this one, and then we can end up the center with that. And there you go. So I have one signature right there, and like I said, I love how these pieces start to kind of look very uneven and come out. This is the look that I'm kind of going for. So once we put that into our signature, that is what you will see. Maybe this one's a little bit too long, but I think all the other ones are good. So I'm just gonna trim. Oh, it's because I didn't fold this one right. So I'm gonna fold this one again, so one side is not too long. That way I don't need to cut it. I don't like cutting my tea or coffee paper, because on the edges is where you get this really nice burn color, and I love that. Okay, so there you go. So before I add on my signature, I found this cute little piece here. I had this saved on some ephemera pieces that I tend to collect for my journals, and I think this will be really cute to add here on the cover. And I think I'm gonna go for the smaller image, because with this one kind of covers the whole thing and it's a little bit too big. I might need to trim it. So I'm just gonna use this other side. So I'm gonna cut these right here. This should be good. And then I found this little vellum piece of paper, so I'm also going to be adding that just to create a layer here. And you know what, I'm going to round the corner since the edges are round on the bottom. I'm just gonna recreate that here on the top, and then I'm just going to glue this in here, and I am going to stitch all of these around. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of glue, and again, you don't need to stitch. You can just glue it down, but I really like the little stitch edge. So I'm just gonna trim this like that. Hopefully it's not moving, and do something like this maybe on the center, and just a little cute little centerpiece. And I love the vellum because you can still see the back of the fabric right there. And I have this little love, so I might add the love here because there's a little banner in there. So I'm just gonna put it on top, I guess, or yeah, I think on top should be fine. So I'm just gonna glue this over, and then I'm going to add a little bit of glue here so I can stitch this in place. Okay, and again, you don't have to stitch it, you can just glue it. If you are gluing it, do glue it all the way around. And I'm just gonna get back to my sewing machine, and I'll be right back. And there you go. So now you can see the little stitches, and I like how it gives it a little frame in there. And now we're ready to add the signatures. So now we're just gonna hold everything together. We're gonna place it right on the center, and I am just going to hold this with my paper clip right there, and that's just gonna make it a lot easier. And then you're going to go ahead and poke 3 holes, and I usually just eyeball where I make the holes. I'm gonna do one on the center, and now I'm going to go all the way down through all the pages and come out on the back. I don't know if you can see it right there. And it's a lot easier to make the holes ahead instead of doing it as you pass your needle. So now you are gonna need a needle and thread or twine. I'm using this really strong twine with like gold and white. Is so pretty. And when you pick your needle, always make sure you get something pointy. It really does help a lot too. And then I'm going to do another one right here. Again, I'm gonna go all the way down through the cover, okay, and just hold it right there. And then I'm going to do one on the top, just like this, and see how it came out right there. And the clip, of course, is helping me keep all these papers in line so the hole doesn't keep moving. So I'm just going to pass this through the center, and you're going to leave a little tail in there, and then you're going to go either top or bottom. So now you have your pre-made hole, and let's see, sometimes it's easy to find, sometimes it wiggles a little bit. So I'm just gonna open this up and see where the hole is. Okay, and there you go. And then you're gonna pull this out, and you're going to come out at the top now. Okay, so there you go. Nice and easy when you have your holes pre-made. And I'm just gonna pull this all the way out, and then I'm finally going to go in on the center again. I'm just moving my needle over a little bit and go back to the center, and you should be able to find the hole again. It should be the same one. And when you come out here, make sure that you are not grabbing this, like you're not coming in between this center, and then just pull it out. Okay, and there you go. And then I'm just going to remove the needle, and we are just going to pull this tight. Make sure the center long line is in between these two pieces before you tie this. Okay, so then we're just going to do a double knot. Super quick and easy like this. And then I'm going to cut some of the extra. Some people like to leave these really long, and then you have like a little charm hanging from the center of your spine right there of your journal. And there you go. So super quick and simple. Now we have our little journal full of pages ready for you to decorate, add pocket. So I cut these two pieces at 8 by 5 inches, and I'm just going to put one on each side here. I'm trying to think which one I want for the front. I think this one, I really like it. I really like both. So for this one, I'm going to use fabric tack, even though it's paper, since it's going to glue to the fabric on the cover. We might as well do fabric tack. Okay, so make sure you get all the edges, and we're just going to simply glue these on top. Okay, so here we go. We have that one, and I'm just gonna do the one on the back here. Okay, so there you go. And I'm just going to add this right there, and I'm going to use this tool so I can get all of these air bubbles out. So I have this really pretty piece of applique, and I think I'm gonna add it in here. This one is really vintage. I just love the combination of the colors, so I'm going to trim it a little bit smaller. I think like that, and maybe like this right here. And I'm just going to add that. So I'm going to add this with my fabric glue. And there you go. I love how that looks. It just gives it a little touch of softness. And I'm going to use this piece of lace that I had on my stash to just keep this close. So I'm just gonna do one simple knot here on the side. So there you go. I hope that you guys like it and that you give it a try. Don't forget to visit my website where you can find my digital magazine with these and many other projects as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.